Good evening, brothers and sisters. And if you're first time at this channel, it's about the promotion of the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, end times news and Bible prophecies. But the news is what we're doing tonight, which is coming out thick and fast. So much of it about now that my emails are full. And I just, at this point, as usual, thank the Intel for doing this and the translators on this channel who will help anyone in Spanish, Portuguese to understand. I had an amazing comment through last night on a video I did and the comment said, how do I get saved? You know, and I've asked that person to come back but how amazing that we can get out by doing the things we do and getting people to think, making awareness of what's happening around us every day. A lot of people are ambling by, not just seeing it global warming. There's a lot more to global warming than global warming. Well, okay, here's an interesting one. Fawning on Putin and haranguing Theresa May, Trump's troubling calls to the world leaders revealed by White House officials. So I haven't played this yet, so let's see what it's about.
Do you agree that Vladimir Putin is involved in assassinations, in poisonings?
Probably he is, yeah, probably. I mean, I don't... Probably, but I rely on them. It's not in our country.
Okay, why not? They shouldn't do it. This is a terrible thing.
Of course they shouldn't do it. Okay, that's the only collusion.
Do you believe that the Russians interfered in the 2016 campaign, election?
Well, they meddled, but I think China meddled too.
Interesting to say the least. So at least he's not lying, you know, he's saying it as it is, even though he will get criticised. There's a lot, I'm not sure what's happening today in this time. You know, that's getting on a bit, that. But I like his honesty and he didn't try to deviate. We all know that Putin, that Russia did poison who Putin is the president of and so on and so forth. We all know that, but there's a lot worse going on underground than we know. Not to mention, overground, New Zealand Catholic bishop resigns over sexual allegations. Palmerston North's Bishop Charles Drennan quits after woman complained of unacceptable behaviour of a sexual nature. Well, you know, religion has been dogged by sexual problems for a long time, and God warned about sexual problems. Not that man shouldn't have sex, but it shouldn't be everything he lives for, or her. But Catholic Church is exposed again. When it gets into the church and becomes mainline news, I mean, I'm sure so much has happened that's never been exposed, and I'm glad it's being exposed. But being exposed is revealing the apostasy of the church, which is fulfilling prophecy. That's all I got to say on that. Another one under the belt. Now, this doesn't surprise me. Russia is helping China build a missile defense system, when China is well capable of turning on Russia as well. But what do they think? Why? You know, I mean, there's money involved. War is about money now. It hasn't always been about money, and there are certain little fracas all over the world that aren't about money, but the major ones are about money. I mean, Russia is selling the technology to China, who can afford it. You know, it's an economy, but the end game is destruction of mankind. What part don't we understand? So days after Beijing unveils state-of-the-art missiles, Moscow reveals the plan that would radically enhance China's defense capability. Defense, so art missiles, state-of-the-art missiles for going out, and then enhance their... I'll leave that with you. And this just really reveals how filthy it is in law, in the judges, in the courts, in the judicial system, the judgment system. It's rotten right the way through. We're even seeing, I hate to say this, in our royalty with Prince Andrew. It's what? Why do they think they can get away with it? Why, as representatives and leaders of our people, do they think? But this Thailand judge had had enough. Thailand judge shoots himself in court after criticising the system. The Thai judge shot himself in a courtroom after delivering a rare speech, railing against the country's justice system. He can see fault in the system so much that he's been practicing it, and he shot himself in the chest. He lived, by the way. But it's there. It's in our very face. How many people can honestly have ever been in front of a judge? Because I have, for various different things, all of which I was not found guilty, but they're only small things. But I've seen injustice in even our local courts, biasness towards governments and government people. But let me know what you think in the comments. And leave me out of that, by the way. They were only minor offences. And this one leads me to think, you won't make peace. You won't make peace, Boris. We don't really know where the UK and USA and Canada are in the end times prophecies. I mean, there's a lot of speculation, but everything I've seen, I couldn't say that's it. It's open. We'll see as they unfold, as indeed we've seen as all the other prophecies have unfolded accurately. But a diplomatic world to avoid the war in the Gulf. Britain, we can't afford to go to war. We're down. We can't defend ourselves. Britain and France, among others, are pressing for an historic meeting between the US and Iran's president, Hassan Rouhani. Well, we've always been with the USA. There's so many things strange happening, isn't there? Strange happening. The annual rush for diplomatic speed dating at the UN General Assembly ended this week without commitments of conclusions from leaders anxious to avoid another Middle East war as tensions simmer in the strategic waterways of the Gulf. Now, Britain is in the process of going through Brexit, a very uncertain time of breaking away from Europe and becoming independent again, with potentially no deal, no trade deal. We don't need it right now. We don't need it. So, but is that going against everything we stand for and believe in? And this is one I'm glad to see, really. Libra, PayPal first to drop out of Facebook's cryptocurrency. Again, if you're the first time here and you're wondering what this is all about, in Revelation, the book of Revelation, the last book in the Bible, is unfulfilled prophecy. I think maybe a little touch of it might have been fulfilled, but it's unfulfilled largely. And what it is that there is a one world currency, basically, a one world order where we'll be controlled, where we cannot trade without the mark of the beast on our right hand or forehead. And it would ring a bell that this type of thing might fit that bill. That's what it's about. But I'm glad that people are thinking twice about the cryptocurrency, the Libra, rather strange. Payments from PayPal have become the first company to pull out of the alliance that is trying to launch Facebook's digital currency. Too many digital currencies makes them very controllable by one group of people. Don't go there. And countries are now crying out to each other, as we read here. Greek PM asks US's Pompeo for help to calm offshore tension with Turkey. Mitsotakis told visiting US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo that Turkish moves south of the island in recent days were a flagrant violation of Cyprus' sovereign rights. And what it's about is Athens' Greek Prime Minister urged the United States on Saturday to use its influence to diffuse tension Mediterranean, where Cyprus and Turkey are locked in a dispute over offshore rights. Okay, because they're sending an oil rig drill. Mitsotakis told visiting US Secretary of State that Turkish moves south of the island in recent days were flagrant violation of Cyprus' sovereign rights. So that's what tensions between Cyprus and Turkey over offshore drilling. So we've always been tense over the wealth of the planet, and the wealth being things that are destroying us, which are fossil fuels. But it's all in hand, brothers and sisters. It's all in hand. I look forward to being raptured out before the big one. The big one is the wrath. I don't want to be here. Neither do my brothers and sisters want to be here. So how do we get out? As usual, we confess with our mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in our heart that God raised him from the dead. That is the only way. That's the only way to heaven. And it's the only way to God. So don't hang about. Find out before it's too late. And I'll leave you on that saying, may God bless you and keep you. Make his face to shine upon you this day and be gracious always. God bless.